The scrapyard on Kepler Station buzzed with the constant hum of plasma cutters and hydraulic lifts. Marcus Chen wiped grease from his hands with a stained rag, surveying the latest wreck that had been towed into Bay 7. The ship was unlike anything he'd seen in his 15 years as a mechanic. Sleek obsidian hull with bioluminescent striping that pulsed weakly, like a dying heartbeat. Strange design, he muttered, running his fingers along what appeared to be living metal. The surface was warm to the touch, almost organic. A soft groan echoed from within the vessel. Marcus grabbed his emergency kit and pried open what he assumed was an airlock. The door dilated like an iris, revealing the ship's interior bathed in amber light. Lying unconscious on the floor was a woman, or at least something that looked remarkably human. She had pale blue skin with intricate silver patterns that seemed to shift beneath the surface. Her breathing was labored, and a dark fluid leaked from a gash on her forehead. Despite her alien features, something about her seemed fragile, vulnerable. "Hey, can you hear me?" Marcus knelt beside her, checking for a pulse. Her heartbeat was rapid but steady. Her eyes fluttered open, completely black, like looking into deep space. She struggled to sit up, speaking in a melodic language that sounded like wind chimes. "Easy there," Marcus said, gently pressing her back down. "You're hurt. Let me help." The woman, he decided to call her Zara in his head, stared at him with those impossible eyes. She touched her forehead, then looked at the dark fluid on her fingers with what appeared to be confusion. "First time bleeding?" Marcus asked with a slight smile. "Lucky you." He cleaned her wound with antiseptic, surprised when it began healing almost immediately. The silver patterns on her skin glowed brighter, and she sat up with renewed strength. "Your ship took quite a beating," Marcus said, gesturing toward the damaged hull. "Looks like you ran into some serious firepower out there." Zara followed his gaze, then touched the wall. The bioluminescent strips flickered, and suddenly Marcus could understand her words. "The Dominion fleet," she said, her voice carrying an otherworldly resonance. "They pursued me across 3 systems." "Must have been something important you were carrying," Marcus observed, pulling out his diagnostic tools. Zara's laugh was like silver bells. "You could say that." Over the next several hours, Marcus worked on her ship with the kind of focused intensity that had made him legendary among the station's residents. He'd never seen technology quite like this. Systems that seemed to respond to thought rather than input, materials that self-repaired when properly calibrated, energy conduits that pulsed with their own rhythm. "Your people certainly know their engineering," he said, rerouting power through a secondary manifold. "We've had considerable time to perfect our methods," Zara replied, watching him work with keen interest. What struck Marcus most wasn't the advanced technology, but how Zara reacted to his casual treatment of it. She seemed genuinely amazed that he could adapt so quickly, that he instinctively understood the ship's biomechanical nature. "Most species require years of study to comprehend our vessels," she said, as Marcus successfully restarted the primary drive. "Yeah, well, a machine's a machine," he shrugged. "Whether it's made of metal or whatever this is, they all have the same basic needs: power, circulation, balance. Just gotta listen to what they're telling you." As the ship's systems came online, the ambient lighting shifted from amber to a brilliant gold. Zara's patterns glowed in response, and for a moment, she seemed to radiate an almost regal authority. "There," Marcus said, closing the final access panel. "Should get you wherever you need to go, though I'd recommend staying away from Dominion space for a while." Zara stood silent for a long moment, studying him with those dark eyes. "You have given me a great gift, Marcus Chen." "How do you know my—" He stopped, remembering the ship's apparent telepathic capabilities. "Right. Mind-reading ship." "Not exactly," Zara smiled, "but close enough." She moved to what appeared to be the ship's command center, placing her hand on a crystalline surface. The entire vessel hummed with renewed life, and Marcus felt a subtle vibration in his bones. "I am curious," Zara said, not turning around. What would you do if you discovered that someone you'd helped was important? Perhaps more important than they initially appeared? Marcus considered this. Guess it would depend on whether they were good people or not. Importance is relative, good character isn't. Zara finally faced him, and her expression had changed subtly. The vulnerability was gone, replaced by something that might have been amused respect. The Dominion hunts me, not because I carry something valuable, she said slowly, but because I am something valuable. I am Zarathis, queen of the Nexari Empire. My people control 17 star systems and command fleets that number in the thousands. Marcus blinked. Huh, that's pretty important. Indeed. And you, Marcus Chen of Kepler Station, have just repaired the royal flagship of an empire your species has never encountered. Well, Marcus said, grabbing his toolkit. Like, I said, good character matters more than titles. Zara laughed, the sound now carrying undertones of genuine warmth rather than mere amusement. My advisors will be perplexed by this encounter. A human who treats a queen like any other stranded traveler. Should I bow or something? Marcus asked, only half joking. You have already given me something far more valuable than ceremonial deference, Zara replied. You have shown me what your species offers, not subservience or calculated political advantage, but simple decency. The ship's engines powered up, creating a low harmonic that resonated through the bay. Will your people be okay with you getting help from a random mechanic? Marcus asked. Zara's patterns shifted to what he was beginning to recognize as her equivalent of a smile. I believe they will be very interested in learning more about humans, especially ones who can intuitively repair Nexari biotechnology. She paused at the airlock, looking back at him. Marcus Chen, you have earned the friendship of the Nexari Empire. That is not something we offer lightly. As her ship lifted smoothly from the bay and disappeared into hyperspace, Marcus stood in the lingering warmth of exotic energies, wondering if he'd just changed the course of human history. He picked up his tools and headed toward Bay 8, where a perfectly ordinary cargo hauler waited for routine maintenance. Just another day at the office, he muttered, but he couldn't stop smiling. In the depths of space, Queen Zarathis composed a message to her High Council. Initiate formal contact protocols with the human species. Priority, immediate.